On April 22nd, 2024, my husband and I welcomed our first child, and it was the most magical and euphoric day of our lives. I had noticed on the ride home from the hospital, actually, that I had swelling in my feet, and I always play with my rings, and I noticed that I couldn't pull them off. So that was something I was kind of like, oh, that's strange, but didn't really think twice about it. And I really wasn't feeling well, but I just thought that that was typical, postpartum symptoms. And then the days kind of progressed, and then I started to develop this cough, but I didn't have an actual cold. And then my mom suggested that I go outside for a walk, and I couldn't even make it, down my driveway. And when I came back into the house, it felt like I had honestly ran a marathon. So we went to the hospital, and at this point, I'm like, I think I need you to wheelchair me in. I don't think I can actually walk. The admitting nurse took me in, and then it all went downhill from there. My life was starting to flash before my eyes. And then I heard the respiratory therapist tell the nurse who was at the front of the gurney that I was crashing. And then the nurse came in and she held my hand. And that really meant a lot to me. I was just so sad that I'd never get to watch my daughter grow up.
Last April, we had a lady present to the emergency room quite unwell. She was brought in very quickly from triage by the nurses with shortness of breath, had a very hard time breathing and speaking, and obviously everyone was quite concerned and brought her to a monitored bed where our team attended to her immediately. Obviously, it was quite distressing for all of us to see because she was a young lady. In a setting like this, it was distressing not only for the patient, but for all those involved to see someone young struggling like that.
Yeah, it was a lot to it was surreal that it happened that fast, right? To go to the ER and the triage nurse to say, hey, we got to get you in right away, to moments later being on life support, basically. And then knowing that Air Orange wasn't available, a doctor, a nurse, and the respiratory therapist all jumped in the ambulance and went with her. If it wasn't for them acting so fast and promptly, she wouldn't be with us today. So I guess we owe everything to them, really, for saving her life.
I keep thinking back to that day and just thinking about how talented everyone in that room was and how lucky I was that they were all working that night, because I know I needed all of them.
For me, it's an honor to be a physician, especially in the Strathroy community. I'm married to someone who's from Strathroy. Her entire family's from Strathroy, so being an integral part of this community and supporting the community the way that I do, it's nothing but an honor.
So my cardiologist, who specializes in postpartum cardiomyopathy, she is the one who taught Dr. Albers about this, what to look for, basically, and he identified it.
So peripartum cardiomyopathy is a very rare condition. I'd actually been very fortunate the year prior to have some bedside teaching from a renowned cardiologist in London. This teaching allowed us to identify this condition quite quickly.
My experience at Strathroy Hospital has completely changed my life. I was working in the Strathroy community and had heard about the hospital, but prior to delivering Dawn, I had no reason to visit the hospital, thankfully. But now, after going through this experience, I really appreciate and understand the value of having a community hospital like Strathroy Hospital.
I want the donors to know that no matter what they are able to provide, whether it be their time or their money, it makes a huge impact not only on patient care, but care for the community, as well as the ability to support all of us here in the hospital to provide exceptional patient-centered care.
I would want donors to know that their donations are saving people's lives. I think my story is proof of that. And it's so important that we have community support It's hard to put into words what I want to say to all the medical staff that were there that night, because like how do you say to someone like, thank you for saving my life? I have no words, because I just can't even believe that I went through that experience and I'm still here.